Well, good evening and welcome to another session from the Old Wise Asylum. So I just put this together just to cement what I've already said last week in relation to what these three lower chakras are about. And it says basically chakras are the energy centers of the body. They're located in the astral body along with the spine starting at the base and running upwards to the crown of the head. The astral body is the energy body residing inside our physical body. Now, of course, all the fruit bats, when you see the symbolism and the serpent, because that's the term used, freak out and call you evil and lizard and all that like. That's because they think, because they're stuck on the cube, and the masters, of course, are keeping them from understanding this properly. The chakras radiate a specific colour and energy. Each one coincides with a gland in the physical body. They don't actually represent a colour, in truth. We've given them colours, as it were. And of course then from those coloured symbolism, essential to balance them. And it is a conscious awareness. And the system I used, which I made myself, pulling it from within, not copying any of these garbage things, standing on my head and meditating, doing all of that malarkey. So I just formed my own, and that was writing down what thoughts I were picking up on and pulling into my system. Because you're generating that energy then in your system. And it's negating these systems from actually working. And that's how I raised my game in this, got myself out of the garden back then in the 90s. So it begins with the root chakra, and there's its symbol. And it's the element earth. The root chakra is the foundation of the physical structure of the body. It is the first chakra in the energy body, located at the base of the spine, at the perineum between the anus and the genitals. Its location signifies its role as a link between the physical world and our internal energetic system. It is the centre of apana prana. Apana is the vital force required for all the excretion functions. Apana prana is necessary for removing the toxins from the body and refreshing the connection to the earth. If the earth element is not brought into balance, it rots in the body and causes a variety of negative physical and mental conditions. Now, of course, we're dealing with electromagnetic energy here. So as we've already discussed, you need to earth that energy that's collecting and going bad inside you. Earth it, you're cleansing your aura, and you give yourself another chance to keep it sweet. If you're going to keep picking it up again by being around the wrong people, doing the wrong things, and picking up on the negative stuff, again, you're going to fill your auric field with this shit. And you're going to spread it around you as well. See, this is another thing. When you start to pull these chakras together, I would suggest that even this technology that they're putting up everywhere won't be able to touch you. So it's so important that we get this energetic, electromagnetic system under our control. It relates to our basic primal needs of survival, stability and support, and represents the structure of our body, bones, flesh, skin, and ultimately the condition of the mind. Well, everything in relation to this electromagnetic system is the foundation of your mind. So you get that primal needs of survival. So on the cheat sheet, the fruit bats that are manifesting the evil eye, they're using the mind and thinking, oh, well, what we need to do then is just kill everybody. We need to enslave everybody. That's because they're fruit bats. Yeah, there's no spiritual essence to their mind. Yeah, man means mind, remember. So this version of man that in the three negatives is an evil mind, and they're trapped in it, kept there deliberately, because they're fruitcakes. The chakras are made up of energy only, so they don't have their own colours, but each of the 7 chakras reflects the colours of their elements and surroundings. So basically we've given them that. The root chakra is surrounded by the element earth, so it reflects the colour of deep red. The root chakra colour symbolises primal instincts of strength and vitality, and is linked to our physical and emotional needs of survival and self-preservation. Yeah, so if it's balanced at that point, you're not going to think you have to kill everybody and enslave everybody, are you, for your own survival? You're going to realise that cooperation, trust is vital in order to manifest something good, or as we called it, civilization. So you're not creating systems where everybody's afraid to not go along with the rules dished out by the fruitcakes, yeah? Can you see the difference? It's cooperation. And that's what we've lost, and that's what we're losing all the time. I mean, you can't trust people these days to not be doing business. They're trying to, oh, I'm helping you, but they're not helping you, they're doing business. So it's not help, they're helping themselves. Think, well, if I applicate that, I might get that. That's the game most people are playing, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. Effects upon emotions and mental health. So the effects of the root chakra on your emotions and the mental health. Because your emotions, of course, you remember that it's moving up. So your root chakra is moving then into the sacral chakra, which is where all the sexual energy is based. So if your root chakra is screwed, your sexual energy is going to be completely screwed. A balanced root chakra can provide emotional strength in the face of fear and anxiety. That's courage. Yeah, no matter what's coming at you, you're not going to run into the negative, I have to kill everybody to survive. You're going to trust the universe that it's got your back and it wants to show you something. Because the only way you can conquer fear is by experiencing events and things that you fear. And not doing the negative of the root chakra, because it'll put you back into the cycle again. Once you start to trust the universe, trust your inner calling, and that the path you're on is what your soul was put you on, and you trust that little bit more, that's when you start to the word is transcendentalism. You transcend the negative and it starts to spin correctly. A balanced root chakra can provide emotional strength in the face of fear and anxiety. The results in feeling grounded and secure. An imbalance here can cause a variety of mental illnesses. Stress, which affects the overall physical wellness of the avatar. The root chakra is associated primarily with survival, but other emotions linked to this energy centre include feeling safe, feeling secure, survival mindset, feeling grounded, and self-preservation. Now, an imbalance at that root, you're going to join a religion. You're going to join a secret society. But I won't say religion, because religion's forced upon people from birth. But when you get to adulthood, that's where your imbalance is going to make you feel like the only way you can be safe, secure, to survive, is to join a secret society. When all they're interested in is capturing people, authoring them to secrecy, they feel safe. Yeah, giving them what they want to keep them happy, so they don't feel like they have to leave. Signs and symptoms of a blocked root chakra. Emotional symptoms. Food, water, shelter and survival are our primary needs. The main responsibility of this energy centre is to satisfy these basic needs. Overeating, hoarding of material items, greed for money and fear of those around you are negative expressions related to survival. These are all signs of an imbalance. Talmud. Yeah? War doctrine. When our basic survival needs are not being met, the chakra becomes dysfunctional and causes a disconnection from spiritual values. One becomes animalistic in the thought patterns. As a result, people with a root chakra blockage or imbalance tend to experience a range of negative emotional symptoms, some of which include hoarding of material items, greed for money or materialism, lack of ambition and direction. And that shows itself, doesn't it? How many people, because they want material items, will do what mummy and daddy say, even though mummy and daddy are clearly fruit bats. You're hanging on, you're doing what you're told because you want what you know you're going to get when you die. You're not honouring your mother and father there, you're copying. To honour your mother and father when you know they're wrong, you tell them and leave them to it. Insecurity, disconnection and isolation, anxiety, depression and self-pity. How many people today are in anxiety, depression and self-pity? Physical symptoms. When the root chakra centre is blocked and imbalanced, it can cause mental stress, which become visible in a physical form such as lethargy, panic attacks or anxiety, digestive disorders, health problems in the colon, bladder and lower back, unexplained aches and pains in the body, in the lower abdomen and pelvis, reproductive issues, insomnia or excessive sleeping. Genetic traits can show themselves in particular physical malformations of the avatar, specific to racial spiritual conditions. From a scientific base, this shows itself in terms of the avatar's synchronicity to the golden mean, either closer to or the distance from. This is how God maps out the spiritual condition of man. So basically it's saying there, as a race, you'll all have particular traits. And there'll be, the measure, if you want to look for where they are spiritually, is the further away from the beauty of the golden mean they are, the more imbalanced they are as a race. And of course, if God's in charge and he's deciding where you're born, he's put you there for a reason, because that's what you've got to come to move through. The root chakra healing, how to unblock and balance. Well, I've just gone through how I did it, because you have to do that for everyone, in my opinion. As a survival centre and earth grounding diode, the root chakra is the main point of grounding for the avatar's electrical system on the earth. It is the root and sensory instinctual foundation of all chakras. Stabilising the foundation of the body's electromagnetic system is of prime importance for a balanced sense of self. Identifying and working on your chakras regularly ensures proper root chakra healing. There are several ways to unblock your root chakra. Grounding, chakra meditation and yoga are both effective ways to encourage physical and mental strength in the body. Repeating affirmations for the root chakra also helps set positive intentions that break old habits and forge better ones. Well, again, like I said, going through and looking, putting it on paper so I could see which kind of thought patterns I was pulling in and focusing to, is how you're repeating. You can see the repeat of and how you're affirming the negative stuff and the positive intentions, which mean you're breaking free from that. You're breaking the habits. You're cleansing yourself, you know. Below we provide 3 simple chakra balancing techniques you can practice daily to restore balance to this energy centre. Trust more, which is getting more and more difficult, is it not? Open to all possibilities. The earth provides a safe place for me. So you're not thinking I've been born here and it's terrifying, that you've been born here for a reason, and if you follow your natural path, it's going to provide safety for you. Doesn't mean you're not going to experience shit, you know, and that's what most people have an aversion to. They believe they're here and they haven't to actually have any shit. Well, no, you're here to learn. I trust the avatar's internal wisdom. That's the kingdom within. The more you come into contact and reality of that, the better your life starts to be. It may be bad at first, because of course if you're going to trust the internal wisdom, it may put you on the path of shit you need to see and experience, so you can respond differently to it. And I trust the universe will support me. Very important. You've got to trust that kingdom within. Reconnecting with nature. Nature is a set of balanced frequencies. Being in her, my spelling is terrible. Being in her is one of the most effective ways of healing the entire being. Lack of exposure to nature can be toxic and mentally draining. This creates anxiety, lack of self-confidence, and energy blockages. Sometimes the only therapy we need is spending time walking and rejuvenating in nature. The feeling of the grass beneath your feet, the smell of the ocean breeze, the sound of the chirping birds, and a moment of solitude underneath the shade of a tree brings peace and harmony. A healthy and balanced root chakra creates a strong connection to earthly instincts. We no longer approach our existence with a base fear. It improves overall confidence and increases the sense of self-worth. The energy of this chakra allows everyone to harness courage and perseverance during challenging times, without shifting into thought patterns that require some kind of violent or manipulative action against things and entities outside of ourselves. Yeah? The sacral chakra, there be its symbol. Okay, you can see that's the crescent moon in there. And it's the crescent moon, the waning moon, if you look at it. So the root chakra is specific to Judaism. The sacral chakra is specific to Islam. So if you're born into Judaism, you've got to learn that just self-preservation doesn't mean you have to knock everybody off, kill everybody and control everybody. Being born into Islam, you're here to learn how to balance the sexual energy. The sacral chakra consists of multiple circles, a crescent moon and a lotus flower with 6 petals. The circles and crescent moon represent the cyclical nature of life, death and rebirth, while the 6 petals symbolise the 6 negative aspects of our nature that we need to overcome to bring balance to our minds and body. Now, of course, you've got 6 there again, yeah? Element is water. The element of the sacral chakra is jala, meaning water, and governs the emotions. The water element governs our sense of joy and pleasure in life and is associated with our sexuality, sensory desires, emotions, and creativity. When the element is getting refreshed, it keeps our emotions and desires in balance. But when the element rots, we become addicted to sensory pleasures and controlled then by our emotions, which are obviously negative. Prana. The prana associated with the second energy center is Vyana and is the prana of circulation. We get it from the element water. When we have too much, we feel hyperactive and unable to focus. And under this premise, we can act in insidious ways. When we have too little, we feel lethargic and disconnected from our emotions and become insular and disconnected from the earth. It is in this chakra that we design our life vision. When the sacral chakra is balanced, the sacral chakra shapes our internal desires. It is the center of passion. It awakens the power of our true creative force. In the physical sense, the condition of our sacral chakra manifests in how we treat others. Not what we believe to be true, but the real and tangible expression seen by others in how you treat them, especially when it comes to intimate relationships, be that girlfriend, boyfriend, or husband and wife. So we all have this idea, don't we, of how we present ourselves to the world, but obviously everybody out there can see the reality of it. So the discrepancy between how we see ourselves and how others see us is the measure. Yeah? So and how you treat your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or your husband and wife. And you can see that entirely as a measure of the sacral chakra balance in how you treat your husband, how you treat your wife. It is at this centre that we form and thus empower our internal choice as we create intimate relationships. Motivated by pleasure, the sacral chakra promotes our idea of what we see as our emotional well-being. It plays an active role in our sexuality and the expression of our emotional needs and desires. So if sex to you is something disgusting and dirty, you are seriously imbalanced, because sex is a very pleasurable thing. Yeah, if you want to think that sex means you have to rape people, you fucked. Not only are you imbalanced, you're fucked. Totally. Emotional intimacy, relationships, and the sacral chakra. The chakra is centered on personal identity and how it responds to the seductive forces of the physical world. Under an open and balanced sacral chakra, one has the ability to enjoy the senses with the discipline and keep their emotions and relationships in balance. So if you're seeing a woman walking down the street like we created in our civilization, you will get excited and you'll appreciate, but you're not going to want to jump on her and rape her, are you? You can't then wonder, oh, it's her fault, I had these feelings. No, you have the feelings that are brought up in us all, but you don't have any self-control because you're a fruit bar. In the physical, this would be measured by the degree to which we honour our partner. There is no excuse here. The condition of our emotional self presents itself in the physical expression of this reality. So you can sit there fooling yourself all day, but for the measure of it, it's how you treat your emotional partner. So you can talk shit all day, but anybody that's wise and smart and balanced can see that you're a fruitcake. Under an open and balanced sacral chakra, we have the ability to take risks and experience positivity and compassion fully in our relations with others, completely unfettered by the need to control and free from fear. So if you're running around making friends and you have this need to control the situations, know that you're afraid, and that's how you're trying to satisfy the fear. Yeah, so if you're a control freak, it's not something good. You're terrified, and you feel the only way you can control the situation is to have everybody under rules and regulations. That's imbalance. And when you start to recognise this, that's when you can cleanse it by offering up trust and seeing where it goes. When the second chakra is unbalanced, it causes emotional disturbances, reduced creativity, an obsession with sexual thoughts. Well, look at the races that are the most creative. They're the ones that are the most balanced. They happen to be the ones right now that the fruit bat races are trying to destroy. They're trying to wipe us off the face of the earth. It causes emotional disturbances, reduced creativity, and an obsession with sexual thoughts. When the sacral chakra is blocked or imbalanced, you will express the conditions of emotional instability. You will either be oversensitive in your relations and become domineering, or you will lose touch with your emotions and become as cold as ice. You will have an addiction to sensory pleasure without any thoughts for the other. Everything will revolve around your sexual needs. Depression, anxiety, and the fear of losing control in a relationship are all signs that this energy center is blocked. It also affects our connection to various physical aspects of life, like work, for instance. Physical symptoms of an imbalanced sacral chakra: chronic lower back pain, arthritis, genital or sexual problems, hip issues, anemia, joint problems, low energy, spleen and kidney issues, premenstrual syndrome, and sinusitis. Overactive sacral chakra symptoms. An overactive sacral chakra means that there is too much jnana being distributed throughout the body. Since the second chakra governs emotions, overactive energy creates overwhelming feelings and emotions, which can manifest as extreme mood swings, dissatisfaction with life, addictive behaviours, feeling disconnected from the world, intense display of affection, uncontrollable sexual urges, and sensory desires. Underactive sacral chakra symptoms. An underactive sacral chakra will affect your entire physical and mental well-being. When the sacral chakra is blocked, feelings ranging from uncertainty to an ability to cope with life's changes permeate. And from this, the need to belong to a religion becomes a major factor in the creative force. The path to freely express desires hinders artistic abilities, and you may begin to depend on others emotionally, resulting in a psychological imbalance and detachment from the self. Other symptoms include fear of pleasure, lack of creativity, fatigue, lack of desire, insecurity, detachment, low libido, and depression. Solar plexus. That's what us Aryans are all about. That's what we're born to. There's its symbol, and its colour is yellow. Its element is fire, so it's the sun's energy. So obviously, if you're frightened to death of dealing with the sun's energy, you're going to want to stay at the moon, the lesser light. Element fire. The element of the solar plexus chakra is fire, or Agni. We receive fire from the sun in the form of heat. We get it directly from the sunlight, but also from the foods which absorb sunlight. Fire activates the prana samana, which is the life force required for digestion and metabolism. As a result, the fire energy is important for our digestion and ability to absorb nutrients. The element of fire ignites the light of consciousness that motivates us to strive towards success and good health. Spending too much time on the third chakra can cause burnout. However, not developing it can leave you feeling weak, fearful, and inert. The love and happiness that we feel in our hearts actually originate in the third chakra and rise from there to the heart chakra. So, depending on what's going on in your bottom three, depends on what your heart chakra is throwing out. When you feel like you can conquer the world as if there is a fiery ball of passion and power surging through you, this is when the solar plexus chakra is in action. The solar plexus chakra is the third chakra in the seven chakra system. This energy center governs our ability to be confident, assertive, and make decisions from a place of inner wisdom. It is also the key to unblocking our personal power and building a strong sense of self. When in balance, we take full and complete responsibility for self, our thoughts, our actions, and as the third energy center below the heart, when the root and sacral chakras are balanced, the creative force of our soul is boosted with the solar energy afforded to the solar plexus. Otherwise, you've got to do it with groupthink, because there's loads of you doing it. That's when it's negative. To build the evil eye can only be done because there's shitloads of people building it. When you've got it right, you can do it all by yourself. And you can do it because you're pulling on that wisdom from within. The kingdom of my Father is within. When this chakra is out of balance, we experience feelings of insecurity, self-doubt, and a lack of direction in life. And another point at which we may look to give away our power to another, an institution, a secret society, a government, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a priest, an imam, a rabbi, etc. If we cannot take full and complete responsibility for self and all our relations, perhaps due to imbalances in the two chakras below, then the confidence required to act in the image of the Creator is diminished. You're nowhere near Genesis 1. The measure of the man at this juncture can be seen in such descriptive forms as Alpha, Beta, Omega, Gamma, Sigma. The Gamma is probably the worst because they're very clever, but they don't have the capacity of the Alpha or Beta to put it into action. Sigmas can do it same, Omegas, but the Gammas, they call them narcissists today. So you really don't want to be described or seen as a Gamma personality. In its true balanced form, the expression of the man in balance shows itself in the ability to master one's lower nature, to seek out like-minded relationships, and to lead by recognising external stimuli and moving to create substance that is balanced with the internal instincts, emotions, and spiritual law. Spiritual law being the most important. This is the meaning to operating in this realm from the kingdom within. Master this and the door to the higher realms becomes open. But the kicker here is to master and understand the balanced feminine energy, whilst utilising the masculine energy to push and move the will and create something of worth in this realm. Yeah, so if you're pushing your will and it's imbalanced, evil eye. When you've balanced yourself in these three chakras, the feminine energy, you understand it. You understand it. You're not something you're frightened of. You don't suppress it. You don't want to hate it. You don't feel you've got to be its boss. Because you've understood what it is. It's the source of all. And the masculine energy then there is the energy you need to move things forward, make things happen. Yeah? Not just sit there talking about it. You make it happen. That's the masculine energy in its balanced form. And if it's spiritually balanced, it's working within spiritual law. These are the people in history that leave something behind, that carries forward into the future. Now the negative will do the same as well. But remember, the negative needs gangs and gangs and gangs of you to build it. When you're in tune with the spiritual realm, one man can change the world. What is the solar plexus chakra? The solar plexus chakra spreads the fire element in your body, which brings energy, warmth and light. This is also the energy centre of the samana vaya or samana prana, which is the energy of digestion, intellect, ego, willpower and aggression. Each form the qualities of the third chakra. Where is the solar plexus located? The solar plexus is located 4 finger breadths above the navel, just below the rib cage. To be more precise, it's on the line from the end of the sternum to the navel in the solar plexus. Mani means the shining gem, and pura means the place. So Manipura literally translates to place of shining gem. Fire is the shiniest element of all the 5 elements, and the solar plexus chakra is the energy center of fire. Therefore, the third chakra is called the place of fire, or Manipura chakra. This, when you get this imbalance and you move up through the heart to the 5th, this is why these people are called the shining ones. The Manipura chakra is the energy center of the fire element and fire prana samana. It receives the element from the sun and the food containing heat and samana energy. When the third chakra is in balance, you feel confident, self-motivated and have a sense of purpose. However, when surrounded by negative energy, you can suffer from low esteem and of control issues. Manipura chakra and emotions. The fire element is represented in the body as heat or Agni. At the center of the physical and astral body, the Manipura chakra attracts prana and manages this life energy in order to balance the body and mind. Excessive fire energy can create impulsive reactions such as anger and aggression, which is a sign of a blocked solar plexus chakra. The emotions associated with this energy centre are excitement, happiness, depression and anger. Some other qualities include intellect, clarity, willpower, assertiveness, discipline, self-confidence and aggression. Because righteous anger, folks, isn't a negative. Which you need, don't you, if you're defending yourself. A shortage of the element of samana prana can cause the chakra to move too fast. The opposite occurs when it does not refresh and over-accumulates. This causes an imbalance in the energy system. When the solar plexus chakra is blocked or imbalanced, it can manifest as various physical and emotional issues. As the third chakra is located in the upper abdomen, a blockage or imbalance can often cause digestive issues. The physical symptoms of a solar plexus chakra blockage may include indigestion, irritable bowel syndrome, eating disorders, excessive weight gain, ulcers, diabetes, issues with the pancreas, liver or colon, heartburn, sensitive or bleeding gums. A solar plexus chakra blockage or imbalance can also cause emotional problems such as over-analysis or paralysis by analysis, overthinking. How many people do that? Uncontrolled anger and irritation, low self-confidence, doubt and mistrust towards the people in your life. Some people need that doubt and mistrust, keep that in mind also. But if you mistrust everybody in your life, you're going to be in trouble, aren't you? You can never move forward. So consider that if that's the way you feel, are the assholes, you need to get rid of them, or are you being oversensitive? Apply a bit of trust in your life to try and mitigate that. Insecurity and low self-esteem, need for continuous confirmation and approval from others. Unhealthy attachments to people in your life. Rigid and controlling behaviour, self-victimising mentality, lack of direction and motivation, and difficult at setting boundaries in your own life, which other people will exploit. When this energy centre is open and balanced, you feel confident, powerful and ready to take on any challenge that comes your way. Other signs of a solar plexus chakra opening include control over fear, a strong sense of self-confidence and self-worth, a clear sense of personal identity and purpose, feeling empowered to take actions toward goals and dreams. So you're not just thinking about it, you're acting on it. Good digestion and a healthy metabolism, a sense of inner strength and resilience, ability to make decisions with ease and trust in oneself, willingness to take risks and step out of one's comfort zone, clarity of mind and full control over your emotions. Okay, that's what you're aiming to achieve. Once you can see those points in your life, and you may have 3 or 4, and then you can set, you can look at this now and think, well, that I've got that as positive. These are my negatives. Work on the negatives to create them into positives. And not everybody's an alpha, but betas are just as important to an alpha. Your right hand man, you know. Everybody, a good alpha needs beta. A good beta who's there, putting things into action that the alpha's creating. You know, so if you don't want to be an alpha, it doesn't matter. Omegas you tend to be loners, they do it themselves, but work it out, which is your character trait, because there's descriptions about it for you to look at. Because over the oracle at Delphi is the term, know thyself. Know thyself is the most important data that you can take on. Because in knowing yourself, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. You can find your position in this life and work to achieve it. There's alphas, there's betas. You know, that's how it works. And so that basically is the structure of those 3 that people need to come to terms with in order that they can move to balance them. Now, if we get back to Egyptian, you've got the stars above, but before that you've got a female figure here encapsulating life below the heart. She's called Nut. Yeah, and she sustains everything beneath them 3 chakras, and she won't let you pass. You ain't allowed to pass through until you've proven yourself worthy. So all this nonsense about them going to space and all that, it's just bullshit. They're full of shit. It's the evil eye fruit bats trying to blag you that they can actually do this stuff. Let me just alter that. It's a little bit big. And it says, Nut was the personification of the heavens and the sky. She was the daughter of Shu and Tefnut, and the granddaughter of Atum, or Ra, who was often regarded as the creator god. Well, he was in Egyptian lore, early Egyptian lore, before these fruit battered it up with Osiris. The earth god Jeb was Nut's husband and brother. Nut was even said to be the mother of Ra, the sun god. In one myth, Ra used a Tet or Matet boat to travel across her body until noon, and then used the Seklet boat until sunset to return. Nut was often referred to as the cow goddess, who got some of the qualities of Hathor. See, you remember the cow is actually an animal that can give life sustenance without being killed. You don't have to eat it. It gives you milk and all the derivatives of. This is why it's sacred in some of the Indian cultures. It's a sacred animal because it sustains without it having to give up its life. It's believed that Ra took him up into the heavens on her back as a cow when he became tired of ruling. She is more commonly represented as a naked woman covered with stars, and her body is held in an arch facing downwards. Her legs and arms are the pillars of the sky, and her feet and hands touch the ground at the 4 cardinal points on the horizon. Jeb is often depicted beneath Nut because of her association with the sun's rebirth. Nut became a mother-like figure and protector of the dead, whose picture was painted on the inside lid of the coffin to protect the mummy. Many festivals were dedicated in honour of Nut and celebrated throughout Egypt, such as the Festival of Nut and Ra and the Feast of Nut. Nut appears in numerous depictions, yet no templates or specific cult centres are linked to her. And then I think with a few more depictions, just to cement further this idea, as I've said before, that it's the feminine that guides the heavens. You will not get through that until you come into balance with the feminine energy. Yeah, the sacred feminine energy, not the fruit bat stuff with these feminists running up and down wanting to be males. That's just garbage. All that belongs to the masters of the evil eye to keep you fixed into those imbalances. I think there's one more. There's another symbol of Nut. Now, of course, you've seen that everywhere as well, haven't you? So this is where the Egyptians, what they're symbolising, it's not as the fruit bats would have us understand. And then, of course, this document continues with the heart chakra, but we're not at that point where we're dealing with this yet. But they are there, they are in this document, which of course I'll put up at the end, and you can certainly appraise yourself with them. So that's that, Malarkey. Just to show you that everything I've said has teeth, and it has reference in way older doctrines and knowledge than's afforded to the 3 religions based on the Abraham myth. Yeah, the garden and the garden god has to be male because, of course, unruly fruit bats need to be dealt with by the male, do they not? Well, they can't deal with unruly. You've got to at least balance yourself, show yourself true on spiritual law, because she doesn't have to deal with you. She loves you, and she's going to help you, and she's going to raise you above the heart chakra into the higher realms available to every single man, male or female, that gets born into an avatar in this realm. So that's that, Malarkey. And next week we're going to go through this eye game. What is it all about, really? What are the secret societies all about? What have they been doing? Till the next time.